Start off with this story. Several body parts have been discovered in a fridge at a Soweto residence. Now, according to witnesses on the scene, the gruesome discovery was made by the suspect's partner. It's understood the suspect also tried to commit suicide upon arrest. eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is at the scene of that crime, and he joins us now for this conversation. Manqoba, thank you so much for your time this evening. Talk to us about exactly what has been discovered and who made that discovery.
Well, first, what we do understand at this point is that the details of what really happened here are still very sketchy at this particular point. But what we do hear from some of the neighbors that are here on the crime scene is that this incident was reported allegedly by the girlfriend of the suspect around about 1 p.m. this afternoon. It's believed that this girlfriend was in the house at the time, had opened the fridge. She had complained that she was hungry to the boyfriend, and that's where she made this grisly discovery of body parts inside that fridge. We understand that when she opened one of the plastics, she found a hand, a human hand in that particular plastic. But in terms of what really transpired, we understand that the boyfriend at the time of this discovery was out of the house to go and purchase food from a nearby mall here in this particular area. And when he arrived back into the house, this is when the girlfriend, or the alleged girlfriend, had already gone to ring an alarm to one of the neighbors to ask for assistance in terms of what she had found in the fridge. And that's when police were then called to the scene. But Faith, just to get a better picture and perhaps what really transpired, I'm speaking now to one of the neighbors. In fact, the neighbor who this girlfriend had gone to, Joel Mutoko. Joel, thank you very much for your time. First of all, explain to me what happened. We do know that the suspect had come to you.
All right, so earlier today, around 8 minutes to 1, so I was sitting at my house, relaxed. So on our Kasi WhatsApp group, I received a voice note from one of my neighbors who sounded so distressed on the voice note. So he explained that we need to rush to his house because there is an emergency there. So as I left my house to go to his house, I found two of my neighbors already there because we have a Kasi group. So on that, I found a traumatized young lady who explained that he had visited one of the boyfriends, a boyfriend, not one of the boyfriends, but a boyfriend. So apparently she was hungry, and then the guy decided that he will leave the house to go and buy food. So I guess she couldn't wait, and then she decided to open the fridge to check if maybe there's water or any food in the freezer. As he opened because it's a double-door fridge, so deep freezer is on top. So when she opened the freezer, she saw plastic bags. So it's not just one, about 4 or 5 plastic bags inside. And she opened, and when she checked on the plastic, when she touched the plastic, she felt a hand, like it's a hand or something. Then she got scared. But then something, the guard just said, open that bag and check what is it. As she opened the plastic, then she saw that there's a human hand inside. And she rushed out, and then that's when she went to my neighbor's house. So as she was explaining, relaying the message, we decided let's go and confront the guy with the two of the neighbors that we have. As we came, the car was parked here. He was coming from the spaza. He opened the gate. We decided to go inside and wait for him inside instead of asking him when he's still reversing here. As we went inside, then we confronted, and then we asked, we have an idea. We heard that there is body parts inside. So can you open so that we can check? And then one of the guys said, if it's an animal or whatever, then it's fine. We'll just leave you. He went and then he opened the door. So as we asked him to open the fridge, he didn't want to, and then he said he doesn't know anything. So we pushed him to open the fridge. He did open the fridge. So as there's plastics there, one of the guys said, just open and check so that we are sure of what we came here for. As I opened the plastic, that's when I saw the hand. And then at that time, because one of the guys is a cop, asked that I go and fetch his handcuff so that he can cuff the guy. So he cuffed him, and then he asked that he must just he wants to dress comfortably. So he had to cuff him like in front instead of the back. From there, as he was still calling the cops, I went outside. As I was by the gate, the other guy, then one of the neighbors shouted and said, hey, this guy now is doing funny things. As I went and checked there, that's when he was starting now to step himself. So because now he was so dangerous now, we had to go outside, and we locked him inside. So he was stepping himself on the neck. So he slapped him, I think, multiple times. He started breaking bottles inside. He drank chase fluid, everything. So there was blood all over. It was so bad.
And at this particular stage, could you tell perhaps the gender of the victim or the body parts that were found in the fridge?
No. Because now the only thing we did was just to check. So we couldn't now just take everything out because that will be the matter for the police. Yeah, because we cannot now be tampering with the evidence and stuff, yes.
And in terms of, I mean, surely this must be a shock to you as community members, your neighbors in this community.
It is shock because now, imagine we have kids here. Now, we hear about these things, we read about them, we watch television shows, we see these things on TV, but to see it like live, it was the first time that I experienced such thing. And it was bad.
And did you know the suspect at all? Did you know the man that lived here?
No. I do know the house as I stay in the street. So every time I pass here, I do know just the people that come out of here. But I've never seen him before. So this was the first time that I see him today. Gladly he's still alive so that he can at least explain on who's there, who was in the freezer, why did you kill him, and then what was the reason for all that.
And you said that the girlfriend was very traumatized. You saw her, she was still traumatized.
I think even now she's still traumatized because she's still young, man. And to experience such a thing, I mean, for her to open the freezer was just for water or for food. And now to find a human hand there and other parts there, because now at least she didn't open all the plastics. Because I'm just imagining how she was going to feel now if she had seen all that.
Okay. Well, thank you for speaking to us. That's one of the neighbors here who, of course, was also called to that particular scene where the body was found, just explaining what it is that he saw and he heard and describing the horror of what they found in that fridge. Well, at this particular point, the identity of the victim has not been established. We do understand that police are here. In fact, I'm just going to step out of shot and ask my colleague Shahid just to accompany me as we show you. This is the house where this grim discovery was made. It is here at extension 27 in Protea, and you can see here there is a police tape currently here that is been put by the police, and there are crime experts and forensic experts that are busy at this particular moment combing that scene to look for more details as to what really happened here. But we do understand that the 27-year-old suspect has now been taken in for custody. He was arrested by police, and of course there was an ambulance called, as you would have heard in that interview, the gentleman explaining that he had tried several times to stab himself and also to drink chase fluid just in an effort to end his own life. But of course he was then arrested by the police, who are still going to question him on what they found. As you can see, the forensic team busy there. They are searching and really leaving no stone unturned, going through the rubbish bins, going through the property itself, going through the bedrooms, just to try and perhaps see if there's any clues that can lead them to what really unfolded here. But I can tell you that the community members are also out here in their numbers. Of course, it is quite a shock, not only to community members here, but I can tell you that as far as other parts of Soweto, upon hearing some community members have descended here, they want to see for themselves what really happened here. Of course, very shocked at this particular point as to really how could such a thing happen in their own community. We're going to be speaking to those community members just to get a sense a bit later on. You can see them there out here on the streets, just curious about what it really unfolded here. But it's certainly a shocking development here in Soweto this afternoon.
An absolutely shocking development that you're mentioning here, Manqoba. And as you're engaging with community members, without revealing the name, obviously, of the suspect, but really just to get an understanding of what kind of a neighbor was this individual, what kind of a human being was this individual, this 27-year-old individual now that has been kept in police custody, who tried to end his own life after these body parts were discovered in his fridge. Who was this individual? Who was he as a neighbor? Who was he as a friend? Because we all know our neighbors when we've interacted with them from some time to time. So just to get a sense of who this individual was, because I'm sure he's known, right? He's known by the community. He's no stranger to the community, I'm sure. So we're looking forward to getting just some more insight in terms of what kind of an individual was this individual, obviously without revealing the name, of course, until due course of it. So, yeah, it's a traumatizing story, but I know that you're right on it, Manqoba Mchunu. There we go. Manqoba Mchunu, they're out in Soweto, just giving us the latest on that horrific story there. Body parts being discovered in a fridge in Soweto. We've just found out that the suspect has since been apprehended, and the ambulance had to be called because that individual then tried to end their life. As we are finding out more on the story, as the story develops, of course, we'll keep you up to date with the latest developments. Well,